You didn't quit. You're really like against all odds. You're doing something that no one in the family's done, that none of your friends have done.
I'm just gonna say the thing you're not supposed to say.
Whatever is mine is looking for me.
You have to know what road to take to get to your final destination.
Everything that you ever wanted is on the other side of fear.
I'm sorry. Oh my God, why do I keep doing that? Okay, I was having some mic testing, so I was trying to figure out, what was going on with my mic, and I think I fixed it, but I forgot I put it back on mute, so I'm sorry. Good morning. Good afternoon. How are you? Welcome. It is important that I do this live, and I'm actually very proud of myself because for me to bring you this live, you've been able to see me in my unbiasedness, and I feel like with me bringing this information to you today, you will be able to see that I, I've been very unbiased. I've been very fair. I've been very understanding. But when I go and I talk to the ancestors, it's a wrap. Ain't no more. No, it's a wrap. So as promised, I said on my TikTok yesterday that I was going to look into this. I was going to ask my ancestors, what's going on. I feel like there's a lot of manipulation, hidden motives, a lot of, chess moves being made. And the information that I found out last night, it broke my heart, honestly. It's so crazy. In the beginning, like when it came to Shelly and Ace, I got weird energy from them, but like I don't know, like I feel like I allowed the internet to kind of persuade me a little bit to like not be against them in a way. But I think I was like really just picking up on the inauthentic energy that comes off of them at times. And I'm gonna get into why. This is completely different than the live that you got last night. Cause I was trying to be like objective and I was trying to be like really unbiased and I was trying to see it from Ace's point of view. But again, once the ancestors speak to me, it's a wrap. And I needed clarity because there's a lot of different narratives being out. There's a lot of different narratives out here. There's a lot of people with different opinions and things. So I just needed clarity and I just wanted to know what was Ace's motive in the interview. I wanted to know, what was his true motive when it came to this interview. And so I'm pretty sure a lot of you wanted to know that as well. So his motive was he wanted to gain his credibility back. He wanted to nurture his public image. It wasn't for clout. It was for damage control. It was for self-preservation. He felt limited. He felt boxed in by how he was portrayed on this reality show, how Shelly was portrayed on this reality show, how their relationship was portrayed on this reality show. He did the interview to reclaim his own narrative while exposing truths or correcting misconceptions. Okay. Now, that was his motive, right? So let's get into, did he lie? Because I wanted to know. I asked, I was like, did he lie? And see, this is where things get tricky. And this is where I feel like it's bringing on a lot of confusion for people. Okay. He spoke fast and direct, but didn't share the nuance of his truth. So he wasn't intentionally misleading, but he did mislead people. And how did he do that? Let me use the example of when he spoke on Nick Olandria, right? The nuance about how there wasn't a romantic spark, a romantic spark. That's because, well, he hasn't talked to Nick. He hasn't gotten an update. And see, that's what is misleading. It's like, okay, you're saying this, but like you haven't even talked to them. So the nuance with him having that truth, right? That's what gets tricky. The nuance with having that truth is, okay, but you're not disclosing how you and Nick are really not that close. Right? He did that towards the end of the interview, but you didn't do it at the moment in which that question was asked and you answered. And that was what was misleading. But he didn't intentionally do it because he was just so one-track minded that he was just speaking fast and quote unquote being direct, that he should have included the nuance of, I really haven't talked to Nick. So the last I heard was, and he could have went into detail about how they're just not close like that. Okay. So I also asked, I said, is Ace jealous of Nick? He's bitter, critical, resentful, and emotionally clouded, which I picked that up. His cutting judgments and passive aggressiveness, he feels threatened. That's where that comes from. He feels threatened and he's insecure. Now, why is this? The comparison. He is comparing himself to Nick, okay? So his harsh critics, his dismissive comments, and his tendency to cut their relationship down or to cut Nick down verbally is because he is struggling emotionally, objectively to his jealousy. Okay. And it could be feeding a skewed perspective of how he views Nick. All right. Now, because this is a public platform, I'm going to say all of this is alleged. Okay. But my ancestors are pretty consistent. So I'm a rock with them. I'm rocking with them. I'm rocking with my people. Y'all can rock with what y'all want to rock with, but I'm always rock with my people. Okay. And this is a shock for some of you because it's a totally different live than yesterday. So it shows my unbiasedness in all of this. Also, it seems like Ace carries resentment and insecurities towards Nick. It leaks out in critical or cold ways instead of direct honesty. And we kind of did, which we kind of witnessed that. But I was kind of leaving room for, well, maybe we just didn't see the conversation or the interaction between Ace and Nick. But it's seeming like at the reunion, that just never really happened. Okay. So then I said, why is Ace resentful towards Nick? He's trapped in his ego and comparison. He's projecting his own unhealed issue onto Nick. The judgment Ace is facing stirs up these insecurities. Listen, this isn't about race. This is about energy. This is not about race. It's about energy. Okay? Black people are not exempt from being weird. They're not. They're not. They're not. They're not. They're not. Not when we come from a community with crabs in the bucket mentalities. So let's not bring race into this. This is about energy. Okay? So he feels Nick has been elevated or redeemed in the public eye while they haven't, meaning Ace and Shelley. So it's creating bitterness. So Nick's presence highlights his own perceived failures or missed opportunities. Ace struggles with accepting himself and just simply moving forward. Now, this is what broke my heart. All right. Are y'all ready for this? This is what really broke my heart. I asked, is Shelly jealous of Olandria? She's envious of her success and is feeling like something good should have been mine. Shelly feels Olandria has opportunities, money, stability, recognition, and blessings that she herself is lacking, which is sparking jealousy. Shelly feels excluded, overshadowed, disconnected, and emotionally within their friendship. Shelly feels Olandria is more blessed, more fulfilled, more luckier in love and happiness than she is. The jealousy doesn't just come from hate. It doesn't come from hate. It comes from insecurities, lack, and comparison eating away at her contentment. So then, when that was revealed, I asked the stunt that we all witnessed, Shelly's birthday, Ace's interview, and Taylor's live stream, that was all sponsored by Crown Royal, right? The stunt, right? So they did it to fuel and to undermine their connection. They had hidden motives. The stunt was just the stunt wasn't just purely for promotion, but rather fueled by jealousy, resentment, and the desire to create chaos. They had ill intentions, and the energy around the situation was reckless and it lacked integrity. And it was possibly meant to stir conflict or blindsiding attention. This was a weaponized move. This was not an innocent publicity stunt. It carries the vibration of impulsive, unbalanced, and it was designed to shake and destabilize the couple rather than uplift them. And I want to be clear when I say this. Shelly was on board with this. Okay. And I'm saying this now because I'm going to be watching to see, like, how Shelly moves moving forward, how Ace moves moving forward. Okay. All right. So moving on, I also wanted to know, was Nick Olandria, the both of them, Nick and Olandria, were they publicly betrayed, right? And it says here, they were not directly betrayed in an obvious way. It was concrete. It was like a little subtle concrete way. But they were betrayed through illusions, half truths, and orchestrated confusion that made them vulnerable in the public eye. The betrayal was more about perception and narrative manipulation than outright exposure. A web of lies and confusions, distractions, and false narratives spun around them to create doubt and vulnerability in the public. Let's continue. Again, these are predictions. If you want to be in your feelings about it, be in your feelings about it. All right. Then I asked, is Nick and Olandria's connection real? Yes. The connection between them is real, rooted in shared struggle, not just superficial attraction. They find their way back to each other after hardships they can't just detach and move on from. It's a real bond, but one marked by test, friction, and outside chaos. So then I asked, for the spiritual girlies out there, is this a karmic connection? No. Karma is present, but it's not a karmic connection. The foundation is genuine, emotionally and spiritually. It is meant to heal, soften, and open their hearts. It's a soul bond meant to awaken love, compassion, and healing. So then I also asked, I said, did Ace and Shelly know each other before the show? And see, this is where Ace and Shelly, they do things that are kind of misleading. And let me go ahead and pull this up too, because honestly, it's going to be exposed anyway. So let me go ahead and pull this up. Because actually, this is matching up with, what they were saying. This was in 2024. Okay. So, yes, it's very likely Shelly and Ace had a connection before the reality show, but it was fragile. It was secretive and it was built on shaky ground. They had a situationship. Their relationship is bound to be exposed and collapse dramatically. I don't know how, and I don't know in which way. I didn't even ask. Especially once the show puts them out there publicly. Their bond feels real, but unstable. They didn't go on the show with mutual plans or awareness. that they would both be there. They were actually caught off guard. So the truth is, they popped up, okay, on the reality show, and it's like seeing your situationship there, and you didn't know they were gonna be there. You're like, oh shit, okay, damn. So they knew each other and they had some type of relationship, but it wasn't like a solid relationship. It was a situationship, it was a little situationship. So that's why, like, you'll hear people say things like, "Oh, I saw Ace wish Shelly a happy Valentine's Day." It's because they had a little situationship. It wasn't stable. It was secretive. It was low key. Um, it wasn't like out there, out there. They weren't public with it. So they're telling half truths. But when they popped up on the reality show, it's true. Like, they mutually did not plan to be there. It did blindside them and it did catch them off guard. So that part is true. But they're not really being 100% honest about like how they had a little connection. They had a little situationship. Okay. Now I went on to ask, how does Olandria view Shelly now? She doesn't see her as a source of stability, harmony, or genuine support. She senses that there has been discord going on behind her back. And I think she's picking that up and it's been happening for a while. Like, if we are keeping it real, like, it's been happening. Like, a lot of people have been having like side pocket conversations about Olandria. Okay. One thing I noticed about Shelly that I don't feel anyone like really talking about is the reason why this to me is coming across as believable as well. Did anyone clock how Shelly kept telling Olandria to continue pursuing Taylor after he embarrassed her and picked Clark during the recoupling? And then someone also commented and said everyone tried to keep Olandria and Nick away from each other. It was everybody against them because in reality, if it happened sooner, they would have won. Chemistry is just there. All right. I saw that. So the reason why Olandria doesn't really feel comfortable around Shelly, doesn't really trust her anymore, like blindly or anything like that, is because she feels like people have been having conversations about her relationship with Taylor, now her relationship with Nick. And so she's just like, well, who can I really trust? Okay. So there's a mistrust there now. Whatever foundation they once had is broken and unreliable. She sees her as someone who disrupted the harmony and has caused instability rather than building something solid with her. Let me see what else. Olandria views Shelly through lens of disconnection and instability. Whatever trust or celebration once existed has been undermined. So at first, like, everything was good, and then, like, certain things have been happening, and she's starting to see Shelly differently. So they were celebrating together, and on Olandria's part, it was genuine. But now that she's picking up that there have been, like, side pocket conversations going on about her, about her relationship with her connection with Taylor, now her connection with Nick, she just does not trust her anymore. And instead of seeing her as a genuine ally or a friend, Olandria may feel that Shelly represents disharmony or drama, someone that doesn't feel supportive or trustworthy. So then, okay, I asked, how does Nick view Ace now? Nick is struggling to see who Ace is based off of what he did. He's stuck on the past. He's disappointed in what was once was, and he has a difficulty of letting that go or seeing someone through a harsher lens than before. So one thing I noticed about Nick, and yes, because I'm still gonna keep it real with y'all, was this was the situation with him and Helda. Okay. And I feel like Olandria is better at this than Nick is. So I'm just gonna throw that out there. I feel like Olandria is better at this than Nick is. So Nick is struggling to see who Ace is based off of what he did. He's stuck on the past and disappointed in what once was. He has a difficulty of letting go or seeing someone through a harsher lens than before. So what I'm saying is that Nick only wants to see the good in people. All right. So if you feel like at times, lines need to be drawn and, separation needs to be had, it's because Nick struggles with seeing people for who they really are. Like basically what is being mirrored back to him. I can see him as a people pleaser as well. So he's struggling with accepting the situation for where it is today. He's hung up on what they had in the villa. Okay. And this is coming from someone that hasn't watched the Kiki Palmer and Nick and Taylor interview. I didn't watch it. So when you see me react to the interview with Ace yesterday, I had not watched that interview, just to throw that out there. So this is really coming from a place of I don't really know the ins and outs of every little thing. I haven't been keeping up with every little thing that the Islanders have been doing. Okay. So he struggles with this. This is a pattern that I do see in Nick. Like it's not just Ace, it's Honda. It's not just Ace, it's Brian. We saw that whole situation cuz let me see. With Brian on that TikTok live. And I'm like, why is he hanging around them? Like I'm not understanding why he would want to hang around people like that. I'm like, damn, can I not find it? Like where? If you saw the live stream, then you saw the live stream. She'll explain. I think I may have removed the
Let's talk
video.
about Nick and Olandria for a minute, especially Nick. Okay. Whatever was going on in that live the other night where people were running up his tab, and then you had JD in the back saying like, oh, he's rich, like he's got money or whatever. And then Brian just opening up like $6 snacks and a 24 bottle, $24 pound, whatever it is, bottle. That's insane.
And I'm not gonna lie. Like that. Thank you for saying this. Ace is a snake. Now the buddy with Brian. We all know. Y'all already knew how I felt about Brian. I was very consistent on that. He just gave me snake vibes. Okay. So let me continue though.
My take on is that Nick definitely needs to have like stronger boundaries, and he needs to just say to them like, "Hey, no, like just that I'm not paying for that. That's crazy." And I really don't think that him and Brian should live together. Like that is such a red flag for your friends to be treating you like they can just do whatever they want or whatever just because like it's just a red flag. Like red. Let's talk about Nick Olandria for a
And again, these are my predictions. Okay. These are my predictions. Y'all do what y'all want to do with this. This is not facts. These are predictions. This is my opinion. This is what I decided to look into on my own time within my own time to figure out what was going on because I was trying to make sense of all of this. Okay? So, now I look at Nick a little bit differently because so he's struggling with seeing people for who they are and I've struggled with that. I've struggled with people pleasing. I've struggled with um moving away from people that really just don't serve me any good because I'm thinking like I can be that positivity for them to just want to be better. And I realized that people are making the conscious choice to not be better and to be what you see them as, which is just not loyal, not reliable, not trustworthy. So it is what it is. Um, what I picked up on though too was Nick is maturing through this entire experience. Okay. So my concerns about, can he handle all of this? Because at times I felt like, Nick is childish. Nick, can he protect Olandria? Because Olandria, and yeah, I'm crying because it's fucked up. The way Olandria the way she gets treated by people, the way people have no regard for her, like her feelings, how she's always there for everybody, how she's always supporting people, she's always like there for people, and like how people like do her so dirty. It's really fucked up. And Nick sits back and he sees that. Like he I think he even said it on one of his Snapchats. He was like, watching someone that's literally pouring into all of these different people and is there for people and is genuinely there, like being genuine, and then like this is how she gets treated. It's fucked up. So Nick sees that, and he feels the way that he feels, but he still struggles with like people pleasing. He still struggles with people, like seeing people from a harsher lens. I feel like Olandria is better at that. So um Nick no longer sees Ace with this same fondness that he looked up to Ace. He looked up to Ace. He saw Ace as like someone that he could look up to, someone that he really respected. But he no longer looks at him the same. Um the innocence that he once might have had for him is gone. He views Ace as someone who is immature, stuck in old patterns, and unable to grow beyond past behaviors. Nick expected more from Ace, like loyalty, maturity, and consistency, and now feels let down. Nick feels the connection between them is not the same anymore. Like the past, it just can't be restored. So the way he feels is things will never be the same. He feels slightly bitter about how Ace handled himself in that interview. Next, how will Nick and Olandria move forward? Because I know a lot of y'all probably were going to ask this question, and I kind of wanted to know. They're going to move forward healing, transformed, recovering from hurt and betrayal. This was a turning point for them publicly, privately, intimately. This was a turning point for them when it comes to like Love Island, the internet, the media, the people that they were close to. And yeah, like this is just a real turning point for them. So as a couple, it's going to force them to transform in how they show up together publicly. And I kind of caught a little wind of that. I already kind of picked that up when they did the interview. I don't know who the interviewer was, but she was really good. She did a phenomenal job. And Olandria became very protective of Nick publicly because he's been getting attacked. So you're going to see them become like very publicly protective of each other. Okay. The relationship isn't dying, but the way they operated before the stunt is ending, meaning they're going to be moving completely different. From here on, they'll need to navigate as a couple who has faced a very public test. And then the ancestors, of course, is giving them advice. Hold on. They're heeding warning. All right. And the warning, come on, let me see. The warning that the ancestors have for them is that the drama may not end with one stunt. There could be lingering conflict, gossip, or future attempts to put them against each other publicly. So they're warning them that understand that there may be other attempts for people to they want to break them up. They want them to be at odds with each other. Okay? So instead of this betrayal breaking them apart, it points to them healing together. They will try to recover as they lean, no, as they lean on each other and process the sting of this humiliation and manipulation, but they're going to continue to lean on each other and support each other. Moving forward, they will continue to deal with outside forces that will bring drama and chaos, conflict, and competition. They will now move forward with it's us versus them. Transformed as a couple, this situation will bring them closer together. So if you see them distance themselves away from everybody basically. And what I really got from this is, and if you listen to Ace and Shelly, the reason why they're acting like this is because they believe Nick Olandrian was supposed to be them. All the love, the shine, the brand deals, the opportunities, they feel like that was supposed to be them. That's what they feel like. And it's the reason why they're acting like this. It's the reason why Shelly, I just need y'all to understand that she was on board with this. It's the reason why she posted her Crown Royal collaboration. It's the reason why and the reason why I was able to pick it up, and I think some of you were able to, was because Crown Royal sponsored the interview. Taylor's live stream, like there's conversations being had. You know what I mean? She knew, she was on board. This was very hard for me to accept because as a black woman, like I always try to give black women the benefit of the doubt, because I would want somebody to give me the benefit of the doubt as a black woman. But when I say this was heartbreaking, this really hurt, like for real. Culturally, this hurts. And I didn't want to feed into this, oh, it's them versus, it's Nick Olandrian versus Shelly. I never wanted to feed into that, which was why I was willing to let, my original feelings of, I knew something was like inauthentic about Shelly and Ace when it came to their story about if they knew each other prior to the show. I knew there was just something inauthentic about that, but I was willing to like just give benefit of the doubt because of Shelly. I was willing to give benefit of the doubt because she's a black woman. And it is what it is. I don't regret it. I don't regret it. I just did not know that I regret supporting her. Like, I did not know that she's like this. Like, and she likes drama. She likes drama a little bit. Olandria does not. Olandria does not like drama. So she's gonna be separating herself away from that. So yeah. So y'all, a lot of you all were right. Bitter, the jealousy. I saw it all in my chat box yesterday. I saw people comment and say that Ace is bitter, Ace is jealous, Ace is this. Y'all are right. I've seen people make the assessment that um Nick, I know Ace is jealous of Nick. You're right, because Ace feels like what all Nick got going on, that was supposed to be him. That was supposed to be him. And the same thing with um Shelly. She feels like everything that Olandria got going on, that was supposed to be her. And they have that mentality that it's only us. It was only supposed to be us. It was only supposed to be us. Another thing that I noticed too, the reason why I feel like Shelly is on board is because I felt like it was interesting that this was all done right at the same time. It literally all done within a matter of 24 hours, right? And then like they rolled out with their Essence cover. They rolled out with this other interview that they had going on. So it's like they literally came together. Taylor was also involved in this as well. Let me go ahead and pull him up too. And Taylor, I think Taylor feels some type of way because if he would have stayed with Olandria, he would be getting the Nick treatment. I feel like that's where Taylor comes into all of this. So he feels like he should have been getting what Nick is getting. So let me go ahead and pull this up. He was on his live stream on TikTok.
I feel like Olandria and Nick's relationship is real.
Oh, this real, y'all.
Is this you thinking, or is this your answer? I'm gonna.
He got a poker face.
Is that tough for you because Olandria is someone that you consider to be a close friend?
Yeah, it really is tough for me because again, she just came out here for Shelly's birthday, and we all spent a time together at the club, and we all kicking and shit like that. So I have a lot of respect for Olandria.
It's not about dragging Shelly in this. Shelly is in it. She put herself in it. It's not about dragging her in it. It's not. It's not about dragging her in it. She literally put herself in it. Her man influencing her, getting in her head. She allowed that. She didn't have to allow that. She had a choice. She had a choice. Has she spoken out? Has she put out a statement? Has she said anything in defense of Olandria publicly since the interview? Now listen, I'm not, one thing about me, things can be fixed, things can be corrected, wrongs can be made right. So I'll leave room for that. But no, like, you need to recognize when someone has backstabbed you, like betrayed you, and did it strategically. Like, I could understand, like, this was not a direct betrayal. Like, this is some like conversations being had and it being worked into like brand deals and money and shit. Like, y'all don't think that this is a thing. Y'all don't think that people can change when fame is involved and money is involved? What we're witnessing is people being betrayed because of their success. That's what this is. And do you think that any of this would be going on right now if Ace and Shelly was the number one couple? Or if even if Ace and Shelly just got as much support, love, and attention as Shelly or as Nick and Olandria. And listen, I have removed myself from this whole gender war shit. And that's another reason why I took my video down that I had made about Shelly and Ace. I took that down. I didn't have to do that. I was making money off of that video. I took that shit down because I wasn't trying to. But once I reached clarity spiritually, I'm not going back on nothing. I'm not going back on nothing. And I spiritually was picking it up anyway. But I was trying to be fair. I was trying not to feed into the divisiveness that tends to happen on social media. I was trying to show grace to Shelly with her relationship with her man. So I've been more than beyond understanding and fair in all of this. I have no real dog in this fight at all. Being very unbiased. I'm disappointed in Shelly. I really am disappointed. Disappointed. You're supposed to have her back. You're not supposed to allow some man to come in between what you and Olandria have going on. And then not a man that kept you a secret for a while. I don't even know how long. This was in 2024. How long do you think they have been talking since then in 2024?
But again, from the last conversation I've had with, Nick, it was a matter of it's not a romantic
Back what? What do y'all mean back?
Saying they find each other attractive.
Nick and Olandria's relationship, you've expressed your, in silence, you've expressed your opinions on that. Do you think that the other relationships that have come from Love Island are real?
Yeah, Taylor and Clark. I know that's.
I know that's right, Ace Boogie.
Now listen, with me putting this out here, I'm just bringing awareness to this. Y'all can make y'all's own conclusion. When you see stuff, because I feel like the real reunion started with this interview that Ace did. I feel like the reunion that we were supposed to get, yeah, it started with Ace's interview. That's what I think. The reunion that we all wanted, it started with Ace's interview. So again, I'm bringing this to your attention. You can make your own conclusion based off of the things that you see coming out moving forward. But this is just what I got. Let me see what else. Then there was something else. This too.
Here's what I do want to say, and
I'm gonna tell you right now, and I said this in my live stream yesterday when I was really trying to see Ace's point of view. So in my live stream yesterday, I said this, and I still stand by this. I don't trust Speedy. Okay? I don't. I watched his takes on TikTok, and he never liked Nick and Olandria together. Every time he was like, "Oh, I don't think he really likes her." He would always make negative comments about Nick and Olandria, like always. All of his takes regarding their relationship, he was just like, And so because of that, and now I know why. It's because him and Ace had some type of like acquaintance, or they were associates, or they knew each other in passing. So he was Shell Ace from day one. I get that, right? But I don't trust Speedy when it comes to the things that he says and does because he's biased. He was biased since day one. So let's continue.
Last thing. I want you all to consider that maybe, just maybe, people are allowed to feel how they want to feel, especially when they have information that you don't have. So today you may have seen a clip, or you may have seen a portion of an interview when someone was asked if they felt as if a relationship was real. And while you are absolutely entitled to have your opinion on that, I do want to say that some people may have more information than you have. They may know things that you don't know. They may be aware of things that transpired that you don't know. They may have.
And like, you know what that's irritating me with this situation is like, if you're not gonna disclose what was said, like leave that shit on the playground. Leave the conversation that you had on the playground if you're not gonna disclose the details. Like, what's the point? What's the point? Like, what is the point? And then I want people to understand, like, what is the motive between Shelly and Ace moving like this? They want the Nick Olandrian treatment. They want, and I told y'all that Olandria, I did my research. She has a team. Do you not understand? There are celebrity stylists. There are celebrity makeup artists. There are celebrity, just like hairstylists that want to work with Olandria. Okay, designers. Do you not understand that her gown was custom made? She's in a whole, like, Olandria is, and I also believe Nick as well. They're gonna be the biggest thing that ever came out of Love Island, bigger than previous seasons. It's just the truth. It's just the truth. So when I went to go look at Olandria, I was like, damn, girl, like Olandria is like really working with some like really big people. And then when you go look at Shelly and her team, it's not giving celebrity. You know what I mean? It's giving like celebrity with Olandria. And so they want that. Like that's what Shelly wants. Ace wants what Nick has. Like that's just what they want. That's just what they want. And you know what's even interesting? Nick, when he came out of the villa, he was on TikTok. And at first his platform was free. But then he turned it into a subscription. And then he went to TikTok and turned things into a subscription. And then guess who went and did the same thing? And then didn't even say nothing. Guess who went and created the subscription after Nick did? At first, Nick, everyone was like, "Oh, Nick, like, oh, you just doing it for the money. You doing it." Da, da, da. And then the next thing we know, Ace did it too. I like, honestly, y'all, you know, it really breaks my heart. Like, seriously, it really breaks my heart on so many different levels. Like, Chase, like, I mean, not Chase, Shelly, I was not expecting that. Like, that shit really hurts. Like, it really does. Then you have people like just not wanting to see a black woman be loved in a healthy way. Like, that's just disturbing as fuck. Like, I don't understand. Like, why do people have an issue with seeing black women in healthy relationships? I don't understand. And even when I asked my ancestors, I'm like, is there a connection real? I already knew it was real. I could see it. Anyone with emotional intelligence, anyone that understands what real intimacy looks like outside of physical, you know what that looks like. You know what it looks like. Even when they're around each other, there's just like this natural pull that they have. Like, they can sense when Nick can sense when she's nervous or she's experiencing an anxiety or shyness. He don't even gotta look at her. He just feels it and instantly gravitates towards her and just knows what to do and what to say at the right time. I mean, like, what's fake about that? I just, When you see a couple that can communicate without exchanging words, what is fake about that? I really feel like what is being exposed right now collectively is like people really have a hard time seeing a Black woman be loved out loud and in the way that Nick is choosing to do that, to have her back no matter what, in ways that Nick is showing up, supporting her, putting her on, making sure she's good whether they stay together or not. Like, I'm disgusted. Like, yo, I'm heartbroken. Like, honestly, it's like this year as a Black woman just seems like we're under attack. People are not really there for us. And it's like we already knew, right? But I don't know. It's just like, it just seems like with the election and everything, it's like, damn, shit, can we get a break? It's just like a lot. It has been a lot this year. Like seeing Black women get fired. It's like, and I feel like we give so much and we don't get shit. That's how I feel. So this is just where I'm at. This is where I'm at, and I'm mad. I'm mad. I'm heartbroken. I'm disappointed. Like honestly, it's fucked up. And it's like we can't ever get a break. And yes, sometimes a break is seeing another Black woman win. Sometimes a break is seeing another Black woman happy. So, like that's a break for us. Like seeing another Black woman get loved properly. Like that's a break for us. So it really pisses me off, y'all. Like the whole thing, like disappointed. And it is what it is. And again, this isn't to create this us versus them, this Black couple versus this interracial couple. It's just when I get that spiritual clarity, it is what it is, it is what it is. Moving on. So we're gonna see what happens moving forward. I could still be wrong, but this is just my opinion. And just seeing some of the stuff that's coming out, it fits what the ancestors are saying. Like honestly, like why I don't know why it was at first they said they didn't really know each other. They just met each other in passing, and then here they are on a TikTok live. It's like what people supposed to, expect from that. Let me see what else. And then Taylor, he's jealous because if he would have stuck it out with Olandria, then he feels he would be sitting where Nick is sitting. I'm glad Taylor did what he did though, because I'm just glad that now Nick knows where he stands with Ace and Taylor. Because I didn't really like Nick hanging out with Taylor any fucking way. So it is what it is. I wanted to play this too because this highlighted something for me.
And you know what, Ace, you're a fucking loser too. I've been really, really nice because I like Shelly and I like them together. So I haven't been saying what I really want to say. But since you want to say what you want to say, now I'm going to say what I want to say. You're a tiny little insecure fucking loser. I'm going to tell you guys why Ace is behaving the way that he's behaving. He's mad that he got the villain edit when he thinks that Nick did worse in the villa. He's mad that Nick got to explore with Sierra the entire time, got catered to, got to dates, got to explore with other women while also still holding on to Sierra the entire time. He's mad that Ace got to fuck Sierra in the villa twice. And Ace holds himself to this godly-like standard, and he thinks that Nick didn't do what he should be doing, which is staying loyal to one person. Nick explored as many connections as he's wanted. He got to stay with Sierra the entire time. Sierra got kicked off, and then he got to explore with Olandria. And then he ended up with Olandria with an insane fan base. And then that fan base took them and made them so famous that they're getting brand deal after brand deal after brand deal. And they're not getting the same amount of hate that Shelly and Ace are getting. And he thinks that that's unfair. And it is unfair. I don't think that Shelly and Ace deserve the hate that they're getting. But to come out on a podcast after the fact and make it seem like Nick is not attracted to someone that is probably his girlfriend at this point. You said the last conversation you had with him that they were only physically attracted to them and there was no romantic connection. They had only been talking for 3 or 4 days. That was the last conversation you had with them. And now it's a month and a half later and you're commenting on their relationship.
The deceitful part for me when it comes to that is that you are bringing this up now when you know that things have probably changed. And you know that, but you're going to run with that anyway. And you're going to push it as this is my truth. This is my truth. Because technically it is, but it's outdated though. Like it's not current. And that was what was so deceitful. Like, he technically didn't lie, but he was still misleading though.
Weird. It's really fucking weird. And what's even weirder is to say that Olandria is your dog, she's your girl, you respect her, you love her, then respect and love her relationship. If you see that she's happy, in her relationship, then respect that. Because if we did the same thing to you and Shelly and Ace, or the Shelly Ace stands, you would be so fucking mad. If Nick came out and was like, I don't know if I believe in their relationship, you would have been the first one making a fucking diss track about him. It's weird. It's weird and it's insecure, and it's reminding me that you're 22.
Now, I did see the clip that was floating around with I think it was Nick. And yeah, Nick being on Kiki Palmer's podcast. I did see that clip. People tagged me in it on what platform is that? Instagram, Threads. And I saw the clip where he spoke up and he vouched for Shelly and Ace's connection. So he's done it on a few occasions though too. So again, it comes across as bitterness. And again, the reason why he has this skewed perception of Nick is because it's jealousy. That's what it is. It's jealousy. He wants what Nick has. He wants what the Nick Olandrian fan base gets them. Like, he wants that, and that's just what it is. And that's just where I stand with this. Okay. Let me see. That's pretty much it, y'all. And I was going so hard for Ace and Shelly, trying to be unbiased. If you go to my threads, you'll see that I was vouching for them, defending them, and everything like that. Let me take some calls though. Let me take some calls. Listen. Now listen, if you are a channel member, you will get first call, first serve. I mean, first come, first serve. Somebody said if it was a snake, y'all would get bit. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. For sure. Oh, I'm definitely taking an hour walk. I'm taking an hour walk today. Outside. I will be outside taking an hour walk, if you're wondering. I'm just tired. Like, I'm tired of this. And it be your own people. Like, even that's another thing too. It's like I kept highlighting the Black publications and like why they're trying to like push this narrative that this white man doesn't want this Black woman. Like, it's disgusting to me. That's why I don't follow them pages. I don't. I, Nick is not a snake. I'm sorry. Nick is a people pleaser, but he's not a snake. And if you watch my live from yesterday, then then I'm sorry, he's not a snake. He's just too nice, too friendly, and he doesn't want to see people from a harsher perspective. So, no, sorry. Y'all want him to be a snake. Y'all, if anything, y'all want him to be. I don't feel like y'all should blindly trust any man. Like, I'ma always tell you that. I don't think you should ever blindly trust any man. But Nick hasn't really done anything to where he's just snake. I feel like he could handle things more maturely, but just snake. I'm not really getting that. Brian, it's like y'all can see Nick being a snake, but y'all never picked up on Brian being the biggest snake on the show. Like, that's crazy. And then the biggest snake on the show is hanging out with Ace. That's weird. Okay, Jeremiah. Hold on. Let me see.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes. Do you want to be on camera?
That's weird. Oh my god, it's actually works this time. So, I
Can you
noticed.
turn us back? Can you turn us down in the back?
Yeah, let me see. Can you hear it now?
Yes.
Okay. So I noticed in the show. This is very hot take. I was on another podcast, I guess episode talking about it. How it has to do with race because Ace and Shelly, they are not getting the same treatment because Olandria is with a white man. And I grew up around interracial relationships when I seen what happens. Not saying because she's a black woman. If you date someone white, you're not gonna get the riches and lavish things you want in life. But because of this situation that we are in, it's because her partner happens to be white. And the funny thing is too, we had the first Latino couple, I think, win Love Island, Brian and Amaya. None of them got brand deals, and that speaks volume.
Yeah.
I seen Amaya get a brand deal individually with Selena Gomez, but that was just her buying. So them together, I remember watching the reunion. It was like, oh, Amaya and Brian, Brian, what you do for Amaya? Oh, I just got her pasta.
But he
You just
bought
got her.
himself a Rolex. He bought himself a Rolex.
Exactly. You ain't do nothing for the girl. I don't know if I could say this on stream, but all you did is give her pasta and D. And you got, and as soon, as soon as you got that money, you run off and you disappear. And Ace is very sneaky because he was claiming that he had the villain edit, but yeah, he's acting like how he acted in and outside of the villa.
Oh yeah.
And I clocked that because a lot of them kept saying we got the harbor edit, but yet you guys are acting exactly how you guys were portrayed in the show on the outside of the villa.
And
And
another thing too, because you're mentioning this too, and you're bringing it back up to my attention. The reason why a lot of people don't like Ace is because of what he did with Jeremiah and the connection that he did with Jeremiah and Helda, right? And then even Andrina. So whenever he sees like a couple being strong, he sees it as a threat, and he always wants to come in and like break that up. So basically, now has a pattern that you can follow, where he's done it here, and now he's done it outside of the villa. We're not playing. You're not a part of a reality show game anymore. Like you're outside of the villa. So yeah, I agree.
And then the another thing is too is that I have never seen that villain when Olandria is talking about the hate with the
George Floyd situation.
Yes, that was the George Floyd thing, and Huda goes, "Oh, I got racism too." No, you didn't get racism, Buku. You got xenophobia because you're doing everything in your power, just like the Kardashian does. You're doing everything in your power not to look like where you're from.
Yep.
Everything in your power. So you did not get racism. You got xenophobia. And exactly too is that you didn't know that what's his name from who also hosts Andy Cohen. You didn't know that he was a quote unquote Zionist until your friends told you. Yet, because you were on a podcast. You were on a podcast.
What about Alex Cooper?
Yes, exactly. Who also is another
Like,
Zionist.
girl, bye.
Woo! And I got into an argument with another person about that. She did not know these things to her fan bases got onto her about that. And so can we also clock that too?
Yeah.
A lot of people are clocking that too. And the funny thing is too, the one thing with hydraulics, she does the sneakiest games.
I love how we keep coming up with these names. I like hydraulics.
Because hydraulics, she does all this sneaky stuff like a 2-year-old. Because I have never seen something crazy before. And I'm saying, like, a lot of her fan bases are high schoolers, are kids, single parents. And nothing wrong being a single parent, but a lot of them are just like, I don't think they're computing what's going on in here. And then we also do have other black people, KB Furnace women. And I'm just like, this is such an anti-black thing that I've never seen. And then when Ace continued on with the Speedy podcast, and he asked him about the about the heart rate challenge, and if he was attracted, he's like, "I do a cartoon. You were attractive. You were attracted because you were like this, and you all type of thing with it." And then Shelly, I think on Shelly too, because I, as a Nickelandria stan, I never liked Shelly. I'm sorry, I have to be honest.
Really?
I never liked Shelly. When I first saw her, I looked at her eyes. I said, "You another one. You are another one." And because I went back to certain experiences in my own life, I said, "You are that token black person." I already got it when I looked at her, and how she ate with him. Like, you got mad at her for licking your man's crotch when her man, you split your legs open like this, and he all up in it. Seconds and double back, and same thing with them, double back. And I'm sitting watching like, you two are perfectly for each other because you two are both covert narcissists.
And see, I was really trying to be unbiased, and I'm like, well, everyone is kind of like putting a cat on there, on the man.
Exactly,
You know what I
that's
mean?
true.
Literally everyone. But her licking, I was like, okay, that you now you're taking it up to a higher level. So
Exactly.
I was trying to be, and I still feel the same way. I feel like she took it too far. But yeah, I'm really disappointed by the whole Shelly situation. I'm still in shock about it, to be honest. Like,
I'm shocked. 'Cause what's that saying? It's if you argue with a fool and you go back with that fool, both of you all look like fools.
yeah.
I think that applies to all three because at the reunion, I'm sorry, but Hydroxycut ate up Shelly with the playback of the conversation, and she's like, I still doesn't solve anything. It solves a lot of things because it showed the conversation that you kept lying that you saying never happened. It actually happened, but you kept saying, "Oh, it never
And
happened,
that's
never
the
happened,"
part
but it
I didn't
happened.
catch. Like I didn't catch the part where she said the conversation never happened. When did she say that?
She said it in the reunion. In the reunion part, they kind of chopped the screw. It was when I think it was just before. It was just before or after Olandria brought up the airport situation about talking about the airport by making a post. I think it was just before that or just after that. I think between that. But I also do remember that the conversation too that happened when they're still inside of the villa. I have to go back and find a clip, but I think it was still back inside of the villa where that conversation was happening. But at the end of the day, it's still messed up that you acted like that conversation never happened when it's proof that it did happen. And the funny thing about it too, other other cast members were acting like, oh yes, everything was fine, everything was normal. Nothing's normal and nothing's fine. When all you guys are acting like snakes to each other, and you're going on your podcasts and talking about, oh my gosh, we never got a villain edit. When all you guys literally did that, like that's what's making me confused.
Well, what I will say is I gave grace to all of the islanders about how they moved in the villa because it's a reality TV show. It's a game show. What I'm clocking is how people are moving outside of the villa because
Mhm.
that to me shows your real character. You're not playing a game anymore. You're not on the reality TV anymore. Cameras are not following you 24 hours a day. So like I'll give grace to how you showed up on the show,
Mhm.
but when it comes outside of the show, like to me that really showcases your character. So I get where people are saying like, Nick's a snake according to the show and what happened on the show, but he hasn't given me or shown me like snake energy outside of the
Exactly. That's the
so
funny
outside
thing.
of the game.
Mhm.
So that's just
Yeah.
kind of where I stand. But I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next caller because I do
Okay.
have another caller up here.
All
Okay,
right. Thank you for having me. Bye.
thank you. Okay, Melissa.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. I'm looking crazy at the moment because I'm working doing emails, but I listen to you while I'm working. So, but I have to say that when it comes to you and what you are saying, I agree 100%. It was most definitely very hurtful after to see the interactions, especially on the reunion as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say on the show, Nick character did come into play for me. It did.
Yeah.
Um, I most definitely questioned him a lot outside of it, though. I watching them because I've been tuned in to all of their snaps, all of it, everything with him and Olandria, and I've
Oh,
been
you
loving
have.
it ever
Okay.
since. Yes, and
So
seeing them
what?
on shows and how he grabs her hand when I see she's feeling nervous, and how he would just slowly grab her. They don't even look at each other. It'll just be just a simultaneous thing, and I was just like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I've been gradually just liking them together a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then also watching Ace and Shelley, I do agree with what you're saying. I always liked Olandria and I like Shelley by default.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah.
So, because when it came to the whole Huda situation, I thought Olandria was genuine and I
Mm-hmm.
thought Shelley was not. I
Oh,
didn't
really?
agree with. I it didn't come across that because if you were then that whole but you're still saying the exact same thing. So I do think when it came to the conversation between Shelley and Huda that she was very direct, and I feel like that was your opportunity to really say something if you really didn't want to do it. because she did say that I don't know how to feel, and Huda said you're squeezing my hand.
I
So
see that.
that was visible indication that she was a little uncomfortable with it, but you still smiled and gave grace to
Yeah.
her to do it
She
to
faked
do it
it.
anyway.
Yeah, she was being fake, and she should have just been direct and upfront about it, about how she really felt.
Yes. And also, I do feel like, as a person who's getting more spiritual myself and stepping away from the confines of just basic Christianity, I feel I've been venturing off and finding myself just evolving
Hmm.
from that. Um, and when you were reading everything that you said, so I 100% believe that Shelley is definitely in cahoots as well, because she did adopt the mindset of her partner.
Yeah, that's
Because
what
back to
it's crazy how they're like literally looking at individually. They're looking at Olandria's looking at. I'm sorry, Shelly's looking at Olandria in the same way that Ace is looking at Nick.
and I'm
That's
and I was just thinking about that when it just brought memories to me about how the Hannah situation, when they showed the behind the scene footage, the unshown footage of Hannah.
hmm
Olandria was the one that said, let's go by the strongest connections, which is what Love Island is about, strong connections.
hmm
And Shelley was like, no, I think we should go a different route. Let's go about people and how they are. That's not what Love Island is about. It's about people who are exploring connections. And in my opinion, someone's connection is none of your business.
Yeah,
And Huda and Jeremiah's connection, yes, it was toxic. But if you are a Love Island watcher and if you've been watching Love Island, there's always a Huda and Jeremiah on every season.
yeah, I would assume. Yeah,
There's a Huda and Jeremiah on every season's different couple, interracial or for example, Keelan and what was her name? KK and Keelan
I
from
haven't
one
watched.
season.
I haven't watched
Oh, oh,
previous seasons.
okay. So I've watched a lot of previous seasons, and it's always Huda and Jeremiah on every single season. They go through ups and downs. A guy chooses other every bombshell that comes in. She's crying, waiting for him to come back and choose her.
Oh,
It's a mess. Like it's a mess. And but you know what but on previous seasons, what they do, they mind their business.
yeah,
They don't interfere with someone who is in their coupling and stuff like that. Even in America, if sometimes America saves that toxic couple, it's weird, you know.
yeah,
But that's normally what happens. And when that I also thought Shelley was full of sugar honey iced tea when she told Olandria Steele, she kept mentioning Taylor's name. I'm just like, girl, stop mentioning Taylor to her. He
yeah.
clearly he clearly chose the one he wanted to choose, and she's upset about why do you keep mentioning that guy's name?
And see, I
And
gave her grace for that too, because I'm like, well, maybe she just doesn't know Taylor the way we see it on the reality show. But now I think that Ace and
I
her
don't.
were having conversations and
They
were
were. It's
looking for a connection that they knew wasn't strong.
yes, I feel 100% Ace knew. I
Yeah,
100% think Shelley knew because there's
yeah,
people because how they were and how especially once they got into a couple with each other. I'm big on couples and their pillow talk. They talked.
yeah,
They knew.
yeah. They knew.
She most definitely relayed Olandria's feelings, but Ace also relayed Taylor's feelings. He knew she didn't like her like that, and he didn't like her like that. He knew that from the beginning. And I also think that Shelley knew too. And the fact that you didn't inform your friend
Yeah, that's weird. Then
is
another,
weird.
like, ladies, y'all really gonna sit up here and try to make it seem like the way Ace feels, which was filtered, right? You don't think that they don't be having pillow talk conversations about Olandria and Nick?
A
Come on,
hundred percent.
come on
A
now,
100%.
come on
a
now.
100%. And just based off of that Hannah conversation, that let me know that he has definitely she's thinking like him.
Yeah, yeah,
She's definitely thinking like him. And the
yeah.
fact that the only
And
conversation that you can recall from Nick is the one that happened in the villa when he wasn't feeling her, when he was only physically attracted to her, that's 100% telling that they've already started distancing themselves. They've already done it because you have no current updates on them.
yeah, yeah,
That's your girl's supposedly best friend in the house. She hasn't told you anything about them. Nothing about the Greece trip, about the photo shoots, because online we know how she said that she told him, I want to go to Greece. What he did, he took her to Greece. She wanted to be a model. She said Nick made that happen for her. So the excitement, because I know when my friends go through anything, I'm super excited.
Yeah.
I'm more excited than them. My best
They
friend just
are.
became a
Yeah.
teacher this year, and I was overwhelmed with joy because she's always wanted to be a teacher. So, you know, just things like that. Like I've told everybody I know, I tell everyone that my friend has a master's degree. She's a teacher. She's like, I brag about my friends to everybody I come in contact with if I know that it's some similar and things like that. So the fact that that's not happening, he doesn't know any of that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm just like, yeah, I didn't really care for Ace and Shelly on the show. But when it came, but I let that bypass about me liking them individually,
Mhm.
but I liked them together as a couple because they were one of the strongest couples on the show.
Yeah.
But that's why I was saying people who watch
Kim,
Love Island now,
yeah,
ever since season 6, are children. They got to
yeah,
be children
yeah, yeah, for sure. Thank you,
because
Melissa, for coming up here sharing. I don't want to hold you too much longer. But thank you for calling.
thank you for listening to me because I feel like when it comes to this conversation, I'm like an outsider with people having this conversation, especially about Ace and Shelley and um, Nick Olandria and the whole, and also with my Huda standpoints too.
Yeah. So thank you.
You're welcome. Y'all have a
Yep.
good one.
Alrighty. Bye bye. So, well, I'm gonna wrap this up too. I just want to make it known that the situation that's happening with Olandria is a blessing. Sometimes in life, when you're winning, sometimes on the surface it looks like you're taking a loss, but you're really taking a gain. And this revealed a lot for her, and I feel like it needed to be revealed because there's a lot of stuff going on behind your back. People having side pocket conversations about your situation and what you got going on. People not being honest to your face. And so for them to do what they did, thank you. Like, thank you for showing me who you are. Thank you for doing what you did. And see, that's the tricky thing about betrayal is there's duality to it. It's a blessing in disguise, but it's very painful. It hurts really bad. And at the end of the day, everyone wants to have their feelings about Nick. Have your opinions about Nick. I'm not really for Nick. I'm for Olandria. I don't know how many times I have to say it. I'm for Olandria. And I was really for Olandria and Shelly. And I've made that clear. So have your opinions about Nick. I personally don't care because I'm not really here for Nick. I'm here for Olandria. And I love how he treats her. Period. That's it. It's like all of these, I don't care. Whether she stay with this man, she leave this man. Olandria wins. I don't think people understand it. And I've consistently said this to women. You win with a man or without. There's no, I can only win with a man. I can only win if I get the man. I can only win if this man does this X, Y, and Z. You win regardless. You have to see yourself as a winner. You're not just a winner when you get the man. You're a winner when you stand true to who you are, period. And you love yourself. And you're not afraid to walk away from people, places, and things that just don't serve you. So until I see Nick not serve Olandria, then okay, like I'll believe the opinions that you have. But again, I'm here for Olandria, and I can't make that any clearer. Like I'm here for Olandria. Whatever she rock with, I'm rocking with. If she decides to leave Nick, I'm rocking with that. Ain't no, oh, why would she leave Nick? Why would she? No, I'm rocking with whatever she's rocking with. I like her character. I love her integrity. I see how loyal she is. I see how kind she is. I see how much of a nurturer she is. I see how big her heart is. She is someone that I will forever support. And I see also how she cares about the youth. She cares about education. She cares about being a role model to women in education in college. We need that as a black community, as black women. We need that representation. So I'm here for Olandria. I will always be here for Olandria. I saw the event that she went to. She went back to her college to revisit her school and to do a speaking engagement. She didn't have to do that, but she did because she cares. She's one of the ones that cares about stuff like that. She's genuine. She cares about showing up in spaces and being that role model for young black girls. And I will always support her and love her for that. So I don't care about the man. I don't really care about that. Y'all do. I know what I'm looking at. and I like what she represents. And that's just where I stand with this. So again, this is strictly my opinion. You don't have to like it. And that's just where I'm at with this whole situation. I was trying to be unbiased. I was trying to be understanding when it came to Ace and when it came to Shelly. But at some point, it's just like when you start making sneaky moves and you start doing all of this stuff in the background, it's like, what are people supposed to think? What are people supposed to think? So that's all I got. Please give the video a thumbs up, and I hope to catch you in my next one.
This is my opinion. I'm free to state my opinion anytime I like, right? Thank you.
I don't want you to feel like that, but yeah, feel like that.
This is my opinion. I'm free to state